Hi, welcome back. Hi. So we're still on 1-2. We're still simplifying expressions. This video, we're going to be looking at the answers for 3 of our items from our daily work. We're going to start with number 3. So number 3 asked you to count the terms. What did y'all get? 4, yeah. You guys are doing really well counting terms. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The coefficients, which terms have variables?
1.
The 6x and
1.
the 1x. So now we're going to list out those coefficients. What was the coefficient on this one?
1.
Okay, and the coefficient on this one?
6.
Good. Now let's list our constant terms. Our constant terms are the ones without the variables. So the 4 and the negative 8. So I saw a few that had forgotten that negative. Remember, the sign needs to go as part of the term. Good job. Slide down. Let's look at number 7. All right, we're going to simplify. We're going to make it neater, smaller. We're going to use commutative and associative. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find some like terms. So I'm going to look for things with variables first. There are my things with variables. And then I'm going to look for things with no variables. There are my things with no variables. Okay. My choice, what I want to write first, the stuff with variables, the stuff without. I like variables first, so I'm going to write the stuff with variables first. And I'm going to use my parentheses to help me associate those. You know, I'll do my parentheses on the next step. And then I'm going to do the 37 next. I don't have a symbol in front of 37. So what's...
Add.
So it's an add. It's a positive. Good job.
And minus 1.
Yep. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my groups. I'm going to put my parentheses. And I'm going to put my plus, and I'm going to put my other groups. So these 2 are going to go into this group because they're like terms. And these 2 are going to go into this group because they're like terms. Notice the 37. I didn't write the plus again.
Invisible.
It's an invisible plus. If it was a subtraction, I would need to write it in. Okay? Knowing that I've put this plus there, like just, it has to be there. All right? Okay, so here, negative 14y plus 15y. 1y. 37 minus 25.
12.
12. All right, I don't need to write the 1 in front of the y, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. You can leave it there if you want. It's okay if you wrote it. I don't need to, so I'm going to erase it. Can I add these 2 things together?
No.
Why not?
A different term.
Good job. Well, not just more than different terms. I mean, you're not wrong. But more than that, they're not like terms. They're not the same kind of thing. One has a variable, one doesn't. And in order for them to be like terms, they have to have the same variable. And if one has a variable, one doesn't, they don't have the same variable. So I stop right here. Okay. Hopefully that will get you feeling a little better for the rest of those, so you can go back and clean that up later. I'm zooming out so we can look at question number 10. Sarah, one of our classmates, maybe not in this class, but in another, Sarah was asked to simplify this expression, and I'm going to write the expression over here just so that I can see it away from the sentence. Her simplified answer was 6x minus 4. Okay, you're saying it's wrong. We don't know for sure because it doesn't tell us whether she's right or wrong, but they want us to figure out what it was that Sarah did to get her answer. So before I can try to figure out what she did, I've got to know what I would want to do. Because if they're the same, then I can just write down what I did and say that that's what Sarah must have done because we got the same results. But if we get different results, Then I have to figure out what she could have done differently from me to get her answer instead of my answer. Okay? So let's go ahead and work this out just like we did number 7. I am going to highlight my like terms. There they are. I'm going to write those down. Notice how the positive sign disappeared because I don't need it when it's in front. There's the rest of my like terms. Notice how the 4 did not have a sign, but I added a plus in there. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, going to associate these two. What should I write? 7x. There's no coefficient in front of the x. If there's no coefficient in front of the x, you assume it's a 1. And so this is 1x plus 6x for 7x. 4 minus 8.
4 minus 8, that's
Negative
12.
Negative 4.
Okay.
That's okay. Let's talk about how we got that. We're going to use a football analogy.
Okay.
Okay? Football analogy. This positive number means that I've gained yards from the line of scrimmage.
No.
So I'm ahead of it.
For the negative.
The negative means that I've gone, like I got sacked. I'm like behind the line of scrimmage now. So this one says I started my drive.
In the ball.
This says I've started my drive 4 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. Okay? Then as I'm running my play, I lose 8 yards. Where am I now?
Back.
I'm at negative 4. I'm behind the line of scrimmage.
So Luis gets all the turns.
All right. Is our answer different from Sarah's?
Yes.
All right. So what did she do?
She didn't count the invisible.
She didn't think about that invisible 1, the coefficient of x. That was her error. So in a complete sentence, you're going to write something to that effect of, Sarah forgot that when a variable doesn't have a coefficient listed, the coefficient of 1. Something like that. It doesn't have to be that many words. But something to the effect of, Sarah forgot that when x is by itself, it has a coefficient. And that coefficient is a 1. You're writing here. You're not copying from me. You have to write your own sentence. Oh. You're writing. Yeah, you're writing. I'm not writing for you. You're writing. You were writing in a complete sentence something like, Sarah forgot the coefficient of x. You're writing that right here. Right here. Right in this space. You're writing it down. Good.